Educational Impact, a leading provider of online professional development courses for educators, is pleased to present Charlotte Danielson's teaching framework, looking at real classrooms. Educational Impact's video-based 4-credit programs are presented in a rich multimedia environment featuring live video from real classrooms, educational experts, and bulleted notes. You can access all course-related handouts in PDF format. You can take assessments online, join community chat rooms, and post your assignments and thoughts on the bulletin boards. Charlotte Danielson's teaching framework, looking at real classrooms. This program will give you an opportunity to hear Charlotte Danielson discuss her framework for teaching. Then see real classroom examples of teachers in action. We will hear from Charlotte which components of the framework are observed in each video clip. This program is being produced in order to give teachers and administrators an opportunity to see what the components look like in use in the classroom.
This middle school math teacher shares with us his thinking, and then we see some of his students at work. He has handed back a test to his students for them to review with each other and to try to determine where they went wrong in their thinking.
We have students that are working together with minimal teacher input into that setting so that they can try to work together and try to overcome some obstacles that they normally would not be able to overcome on their own.
I had 709 bucks.
Because it was like 1,060 is 1.5x plus x.
I've read so many studies that say that if somebody's able to explain and teach a concept to another, that actually takes their level of understanding to a new level of mastery. In order to make it a little bit more beneficial to them, if I can have them teach it to another student, then they're able to actually enrich themselves further than just the material, and that just takes them to their next level.
He makes the important point that when students are able to explain something to another person, it not only helps the other person understand it, it helps them understand it better. This is a very interesting and valuable example of component 3D, using assessment in instruction, in particular helping students give feedback to one another on their work. This clip is a high school English class in which the students are being asked to read a text closely.
What about when he kills his wife?
Oh, we have to do that part too.
Well, don't you think that kind of feeds into his character as a whole?
Yeah.
So,
Because what's driving him?
Greed.
And the fact that he takes the money that Morel left for Dante's father. So how would he justify himself? Like, how do you think he would justify himself, like when Abby Busoni comes to see him? I mean, we see that speech. What do you think's going on in his head?
The teacher's interaction with a small group of students in this clip illustrates component 3C, engaging students in learning, particularly the element about activities and assignments. Because in her conversation with them, she asks them to consider a character and a character's motives from that character's point of view, and to justify their position based on the text.
You have to. It's not like this. I mean, it's going to take a little time. But think about it, the next morning he wakes up and he finds out what's happened to Dante's, but he was there and he didn't do anything. So how can he justify himself? And then when he murders his wife, how is that okay?
She shouldn't have
like,
done
she
it.
shouldn't have done what she
And then
did.
he would have been
So it's okay for him to kill her for it? See, you got to dig around. What's going to make him defend himself? What can he say?
She caused him to go crazy.
Okay. So run with that.
She caused him to become greedy with money.
Okay.
To become so obsessed.
Okay, so run with
it's
that.
her
And so now take that idea and go into your propaganda devices and see, okay, how can we create this defense for Catarus, for what he's done? How would he defend himself if somebody said that? Not necessarily in a court of law, but just his general reputation. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
This is a powerful activity. The students have considerable choice in it, and yet the teacher is clearly insisting that they respect the principles of argumentation and evidence in making their case.